Here is Kampung Arab or Arabian village. The legendary village is located in Sunan Ampel Islamic Religious Tourism Area, and it is basically a place where culture, economic center, and multicultural society come together. As the name suggests, there is a large Middle Eastern community there that forms acculturation with other local communities. The area is always alive since many Muslims visit Sunan Ampel Mosque. Not to mention, Middle Eastern taste and specialties can be found on every corner of the village. Then there's Kampung Maspati or the old village of Maspati. Many old, ancient, and historical buildings are maintained here. Among them is the 907 house, which plays a vital role in Indonesia's independence. Also, many traditional and historical objects are still kept. The village is filled with colorful paintings and murals. It's surrounded by plants and green scenery as a form of eco-resolution of the village. And here's Kapasan Chinatown Tourism, or we call it Pecinan Village. Chinese cultures are served in various forms, that is through buildings and architecture, decorations and statues, and of course, original culinary delights. it's preserved by Chinese communities who lived there for generations. You'll find the streets that's beautifully decorated with oriental ornaments and murals, and all those depicts welcoming and rich Chinese culture here.
Surabaya has a lot of wonderful sights to explore. More than 20 million of foreign and domestic tourists visit this city every year. The government of Surabaya City have built the transportation connectivity system that eases the tourists to visit the iconic landmarks in Surabaya. You can choose several transportation options such as bus, beca, or angkot, and many more transportation as your travel buddy in enjoying the atmosphere and wonderful sights of Surabaya. The first transportation that you can use is called beca. It is not difficult to find this kind of transportation in Surabaya. You can find it in every intersections or streets or roads or public places or landmarks that you visit in Surabaya. Beca has 3 wheels and also a rooftop to protect the passengers from the sunlight or the rain. Beca becomes the alternative vehicles that Surabaya people use to going some places or for some business, for example, for going to school, going to the work, going to the market, going to the public places, or tourism objects. They use beca as the alternative vehicles for families or people that visit those kind of places. It is like what we have done in this video. We visit Kia, one of the tourism objects in Surabaya, by using beca. Beca has the front side, it is for the passenger, and the back side for the beca driver. Beca is divided into 2 forms. The first one is traditional beca that use human power to operate the beca, and also the motor beca or bentor that operate by the engine. The second transportation is called angkot or bemo. Angkot means angkutan kota, becomes the public transportations that government provided for the Surabaya people to going somewhere or going to some public places or some business. Angkot is like a van that could be filled by maximum 10 people as its capacity, and also has various color, for example yellow, brown, green, or red angkot based on its routes in Surabaya. Angkot has the broad connectivity that can bring you to the quite far place than beca do. It has the cheap price too, depend on how far the places that you want to visit in Surabaya. Next transportation is called bus. Bus is one of the important transportation in Surabaya. The people usually going to school or work visiting some public places, visiting some cities, or just strolling around the city by this kind of transportation, the government has built many bus stations in Surabaya and also created some innovation of bus transportations. One of the bus innovations is called Surabaya Bus. Surabaya Bus was launched in 2018 to serve domestic and foreign tourists when traveling around Surabaya. First of all, before you use the Surabaya Bus transportation, make sure you have downloaded the applications that's called GoBus Surabaya Bus. You can download it on Play Store or App Store on your gadget. After you download this application, then you can open the application on your gadget like this. Then you can find a lot of menu on this application here. To check the route of your bus or the position of the Surabaya Bus, you can click the button that's called Surabaya Bus or the red button here, and then you can find the several route of Surabaya Bus here. You can choose the route based on the newest or recent location. For example, your location now is on Unesa or State University of Surabaya, so you can choose the Unesa ITS route here. Then it show the map of Surabaya and some routes of Surabaya Bus. Then you can choose your own bus stop and check the position of Surabaya Bus that you want to use. For example, you can find several bus stops and then the Surabaya Bus position too. The red one here is Surabaya Bus. Voila! Your Surabaya Bus is on Bukit Darmo Boulevard Road. So you can wait your bus on the bus stop or nearest bus stop, and please wait until the bus or Surabaya Bus is come to you. After you know the Surabaya Bus position and routes, please go to the nearest bus station and prepare some materials that can be switched with one Surabaya Bus ticket. You need to prepare 3 big-sized plastic bottles, or 5 medium-sized plastic bottles, or 10 plastic mineral water glasses. After your bus is coming, you can go inside of the bus and find the officers of Surabaya Bus to switch your bottles or glasses. Then you can store those bottles and glasses like this one. After this, you will get one Surabaya Bus ticket. By this kind of ticket, you can access this transportation freely and also enjoying Surabaya wonderful sights. You can go to the culinary spots, for example. You can go to the tourism object and many more spots that you can find while visiting and traveling around Surabaya. The interior of Surabaya Bus is look cozy and also comfortable for you as a tourist when traveling Surabaya. So, which one will becomes your travel buddy?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We send our warmest welcome from Unesa to everybody who attends this summer course today. I hope you always healthy and happy when joining this course. First thing first, allow me to introduce myself. I am Unica, the volunteer of Unesa Office of International Affairs, who will be the MC for today's event. Today, we are entering the seventh day of Unesa Summer State University Joint Course 2022. Wow, we're close to the end, everyone. And let me ask you something. Have you done your group assignment? Have you met your group mates? Please give me a reaction. Thumbs up for no, a thumbs up for yes, and thumbs down for no. Okay. Okay, thank you for your response, everyone. And before we start our activity today, there will be some rules that participants must be obeyed during the event today. The first, please rename your Zoom username based on the name that you use in the registration form. The second, participants must mute the microphone during the session, except the moderator asks you to unmute your mic. And third, you may fill out the presence in the beginning and the end of the session. And the fourth, you may ask questions in the Q&A session later through chat box or raise hand feature. From the rules above, is there any questions, everyone? Okay, I think there is no question for the rules. Everybody, as you start today's event, please kindly fill in the entry ticket in the chat box. Okay, I think the entry ticket has already in the chat box. You can fill in. All right, let's continue to our agenda. Our dear participants, today we will do joint courses with Samar State University. And the topic for today's course is about entrepreneurial mind. There will be some lectures for Samar State University that expert in their field will share to us regarding today's topic. Then, before we begin our activity, we will watch the video recap of Unesa Samar State University Joint Courses, Day 6. Happy watching and enjoy the video.
Sky's the line, so we dance to the breakdown. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the medicine, so you should keep your eyes on the ball. This is getting heavy. Can you hear the bass? Boom, I'm ready. Levies, cities, honey. Yeah, this bitch chilling like money. At this go overload, I'm in today. I'm good to go. I'm down. You know I'm glowing. And let's go. It's I'm in the stars tonight. So it's real.
Wow, what a great video, everyone. It shows many activities that we have done in the last meeting. I hope the excitement in our participants will always be seen until the end of this course. Next, I will show you our today's activities. The first, opening and recap video playing, which we have done just now. The second, the main session, which held by presentation session by our great speakers. The first is Mrs. Florabel Patosa, PhD, and the second is Mrs. Emma Tenedero, MAT and MATH. In this main session, with a great pleasure, I would like to welcome Dr. Mary Jess Calades, who will be the moderator in this session. Hello, Dr. Mary Jess Calades. I'm sorry, I can't hear your voice. I'm sorry. I can't hear the voice. Ah.
Hello.
Okay, hello, Dr. Mary Calades. How are you?
Um, it's it's fine. It's okay. So I welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Mary Calades, and I am one of the faculty member here at the College of Arts and Sciences.
So, are you ready for today's activity?
Yes, Mom.
Okay, thank you. And and the third activities that we will hold is ice breaking session for 30 minutes to refresh your mind and strengthen your relationship with the other participants in the course. By this session, you will sharing your experiences and get to know each other and maybe get to know new friends. And now we will enter the main session and I will give the times for the moderator. For Dr. Mages Kalates, the times is yours.
Today we have the first topic, entrepreneurial mind. This will be presented by our very own Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions or insights during the presentation, please type them into the comment section. I'll bring them up during the presentation and we will also have time for your questions or insight at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our first presenter for this afternoon. Our presenter is a doctorate graduate, major in international management. She is currently the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. And now, please help me welcome our dynamic and competent Dean, Dr. Laurabel P. Patosa.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope I am clearly heard. So again, with high respect to both Unesa and Summer State University Administration, and also to the Unesa and Summer State University International Office. To my dear speakers, of course, to our dear students from Indonesia, Philippines, and the entire global sphere. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Upay nga kulok, salamat siyan. I would like to ask everybody, how's everybody doing? So first and foremost, I would like to congratulate all of you. I have heard that everybody is doing great, and I understand you already have had a lot of take home coming from the different speakers. And this afternoon, we would like to humbly share with you equally relevant topic. But before that, I would like to start by having this game. So, as you all know, today is we are already having this what's this session, and I would like you to have this activity first. So, what are we gonna do now? Um, there are scrambled words that are to be flushed, and please write on the chat box the correct answer. So it means to say these are words that are very relevant to our topic this afternoon. Are you now ready? Ready?
Yes,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much. So everybody's set. So let us start with this word game. Let us have first this first word. Okay, so So you can start writing on the chat box. What is this word all about? Mm, okay, can we see it on the chat box? Did anything? Anybody who would like to share? You can say it. You may raise your hand. So you may, there are two ways. One is you just can raise your hand and you can say it. And then another option is you just can write it on the chat box. So do we have somebody who can share with us the right word? Okay, so let me see on the chat box. Okay, very good. There are those who were able to write that very easy. Okay, thank you. And that is, yeah, the answer is innovative thinking. So let's proceed to the next. For the second,
Entrepreneur.
okay, very good. Thank you. So I'll just go directly to the answer, and you got it correct. So let's proceed to the third one.
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Okay, very good. Collaboration. Thank you. That's collaboration. And let's proceed to the fourth word. Very easy, but very impactful word. Okay, very good. And so, for word,
Creative.
hey, very good. You're all excellent. Okay. So creative. Okay, so that was nice, and I hope your minds are able to have these exercises and as what they have said, all these words and all these terms are very relevant for this afternoon's topic. So I'll stop share and I'll go to my main presentation. Okay, so let me proceed now to the main topic. So as been mentioned by the moderator, I am Florabel B. Patosa of the College of Arts and Sciences, Summer State University. So the topic this afternoon is all about what is entrepreneurial mind. So what is entrepreneurial mind? Before going into that, let us have first go into some basic terms that I do understand are very familiar with you. first is, what is entrepreneur? Or may I say, who is an entrepreneur? So I'm just posting on the shared video. So it's very obvious that when you say an entrepreneur is a person who is in effective control of commercial undertaking, one who undertakes a business or an enterprise. Also, entrepreneur is an innovative person who maximizes his profits by following new strategies or venturing into new products or services. So that is the meaning. Of course, as what I have said, it's very obvious. So we are into going into deeper later on. Why is it necessary for us to go into entrepreneurship? And at the same time, what is or what are the different effects or advantages of a person or a student who goes into entrepreneur? And that let you bring back to the meaning of entrepreneurship. So it originated from the French word entreprendre, which means to undertake. And it is the key to innovation, productivity, and effective competition. And that when a person realizes his ability or capacity and makes its practical use and establishes new business unit, this activity is known as entrepreneurship. Anybody from the group who engages into entrepreneur, my dear students? So anybody? So when you go into entrepreneur, it could be through services or through products. So as simple as students, you can already start building such mindset. So the following are the terms that are also very relevant in knowing deeper why is it necessary for students to go into entrepreneurial mind. And that this preliminary topic is very relevant to the next topic. So I will be giving you what an entrepreneurial gut game means. So it refers to the ability of the entrepreneur to sense without using five senses, and that is also known as intuition. So in Filipino, we call it lakas ng loob or strong intestinal fortitude. So it takes a person to have the courage to go into entrepreneurial setup. So may I know from other dialect, like in Indonesia, what does courage means? Can we see it on the chat box? Or anybody can share with us from Indonesia? What is courage? Okay, very good. So I have seen in here, a while ago, I asked if anybody is already engaging to small or big entrepreneurial activity. So we have in here, somebody answered, me, ma'am, we are managing a small convenience store. That's good. I do understand that you're also helping your family in manning your convenience store, and that's already a good start up. I walk on little tourism service, but still, and yeah, so that's good that you are also having this different endeavors. And again, those who are already those who have started, you are already having this good start. While those who will still go into it, and that's also another way of looking into some possibilities. Okay, so let me proceed. So we started with defining important terms like the entrepreneurial gut or taking courage. Another is entrepreneurial heart flame. So when you say entrepreneurial heart flame, it talks about emotional intelligence or EQ, which is often manifested in the entrepreneur's efforts to nurture relationships with customers, employees, and suppliers. So it means to say when you engage in whatever it is, it could either be in service or product, then it's also good that you must have with you your heart flame. You consider that because when you go into either business or even in your own lives, like doing your work as students, you must have with you a student with a good heart. And next is still part of having an entrepreneurial heart flame. You as entrepreneurs or those who would like to venture into entrepreneur also looks after the interests of his or her people by motivating and encouraging them to the best that they can be. And this creates caring culture within the organization that brings about synergy among the people working toward a common vision. So when you say entrepreneurial, it also takes into consideration and at the same time, it comes up with the different characteristics that are being built from a student. After looking into heart, let us go into framing entrepreneurial mind frame. It allows the entrepreneur to see things in a very positive and optimistic light in the midst of crisis or difficult situations. In fact, let me share a Chinese writing. The word crisis is composed of two characters. The first character means danger, while the second character means opportunity. So if you venture into this, then these are the two main words that may also be considered. That when you go into or when you venture into entrepreneurship, you must have the Okay, so I got disconnected. I'm back. So let me proceed. Let me go to my slide. So I have just mentioned that when you go into whatever venture, like entrepreneur, or in whatever things that you engage in your lives, may it be in your families or even in your own selves, you always consider the two ways, the positive and the negative, the possibility of having this um, danger or threats and the opportunity. Okay, so why is it important for a student to go into it? Because when you venture into this, yeah, we have seen answers like those who mentioned that they really are into business. I know there are those who go into business and others are also having their simple businesses. Then it's good. And the technical mind and the business mind. So these are the important things that will also pop up the moment that you involve yourselves into entrepreneur. It could be your own business or it can also be the business of your family, wherein you can also involve yourselves into this endeavor so that you can at the same time help your family. Okay, so let me move forward and let me share with you I'll share back the slide. It was disconnected. Okay. So there is a technicality. So thank you for understanding. I know along the way there is sometimes the internet connect, it lowers the internet connectivity. So let me proceed. So next is the entrepreneurial mind. So these are the different products that come out the moment that you venture into entrepreneur. So the creative mind conceptualizes and designs a product that consumers find some use for it. It likewise produces a product that is pleasing to see, touch, smell, hear, and taste. So that is also one of the greatest responsibilities of an entrepreneur. So as what I have said, it could either be a product or a service that will be at the same time can be a source of income that will help augment your needs, especially for the students. Also, it goes into the technical mind. It takes into the technology originator. And the entrepreneur may not necessarily possess the technical mind, but this is what drives him or her to convert new knowledge into something highly functional and
Hello? Are you here? Mrs. Mrs. Flora, are you here? Because we can't.
Hello, I believe problem with our internet connection. Please bear with us as we work through this.
Oh, okay.
okay, so I'm back. And yeah, we are facing internet connectivity what's this problem. So again, asking for your indulgence and thank you for your kind understanding for this matter. And so um, moving on, where we have just discussed the technical mind, and next is on the business mind. What is in there? So it means to say business mind harnesses the potentials of new products by creating the market space for them. It also organizes sufficient forces and resources to develop new launch and commercialize the new product in order to maximize its market value. So this is also very relevant, looking into the aspect on the business mind. So you have to consider the market. What product are you gonna have? Will it be a product or will it be a service? To what industry are you going to share it? Of course, you have to consider the customers and the vendors along the way, and of course, the competitors. So these are, of course, among the important considerations in looking into the business aspect. So why is entrepreneurship so important for students? That as early as your situation, like you being students, why is it necessary also for you to consider this? Is it necessary for you really to actually venture into business yourselves, or have partners, or you can also consider the business of your family? So here in Summer State University, the university is very supportive in coming up with this concept, because we have our TBI Lambat. So what do we call that? That is Local Alliance of Marine-Based Business and Food Technology. So this organization is funded, and it invites business entrepreneurs, even students, to come up with startups. So we also have what we call the startups. Later on, after my discussion, I will be sharing with you their promotional video for you to know about the activities some students are conducting in order for them to also venture into entrepreneurial arena. So first is, as what I have mentioned a while ago, it also considers creativity. We all know that there are students who really go into or venturing into businesses, while there are those who would really go into like other areas or field of endeavor. But then again, this is very important because many visionary students aspire to run their own businesses. There was even someone who posted on the chat box that he or she is also helping the family on their own business. Also, among the reasons why students venture into this, it could also be because to augment their financial capability. But there are also those who seek autonomy, like financial security and vocational flexibility. There are even some of adults who will be inheriting a family business and hoping to fortify and extend the legacy. But there are also those who would like to launch a startup to meet an emerging need in the community. So these individuals will benefit into knowing more entrepreneurial mind, because through this they will have the heart that will know how to innovate, to lead, to collaborate, and to persevere. So there, as what I have said, there may be students who have no intention of pursuing a career in business. Instead, they gravitate to public services, to healthcare, to education, or the arts. But then, interestingly, the students also need to develop skills that prepare them to innovate, to lead, collaborate, and persevere. That is why knowing entrepreneurial concept and starting by knowing what is an entrepreneurial mind is so important for all students. A student who may be into business or who has no interest of going into it, but more or less will also gain important qualities that may be gained coming from knowing entrepreneurial mind. So, still part of this discussion is, yeah, we've started with knowing on developing innovative thinking and being creative.
Ma'am Flora, are you there? Maybe we lost connection again. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, so thank you po, ma'am, because of, yeah, we actually are facing this intervention. So let me proceed. Okay, so first is entrepreneurship for students, which is develop innovative thinking. In entrepreneurship, the seed is the ability to see things differently. So if the student will know about having this in mind, then he or she will be able to see things differently. Whether it's with the new products or new processes, entrepreneurs are driven by the uncanny knack to see holes in the marketplace and devise the innovations to fill them. So as what I've said, as early as now that you are students, you can start. Okay, so having in mind possibility of going into or venturing into businesses, as what I've said, it could either be service or product. And next is entrepreneurship for students because it leads through collaboration. So this is one important facet. Why is entrepreneurial mind or the topic on entrepreneurial mind is very relevant? Because this will also be able this will allow, I mean, students to go into collaboration with other students. So they learn to lead through collaborations. Students tend to work in teams and that they share responsibilities as they practice active listening. And additionally, they have recurring opportunities to write and present clear, articulate speeches. And so they can develop effective communication skills that apply to every facet of life and career path. So that is also one of the importance of going into this. So next also is a student will also be able to have the capacity on learning more, especially on combined tenacity and confidence. One of the main reasons why students may also understand or even know about this area is that students also are able to develop a quality that every person needs to succeed in life. And what is that? That is persistence, passion, and resilience. So it's the passion to achieve a long term goal, the courage to try again in the face of rejection, and the will to do something better than it has to had been done before. So because of this aspect, the students are also able to look into their own selves. They're able to mirror as to their persistence and their passion and resilience. So that is also one aspect that is given if you also venture or if you also learn to know what entrepreneurial mind is. So also part of this is, as what I have said, is the tenacity with confidence. So what is important, may you be a person or a student who goes into the entrepreneurial arena or not, the very important thing to consider here is that the lessons that you might get out from here. So the different qualifications or characteristics that you may get out of learning the different aspects of entrepreneurial arena. So before I give you to a sample video from the TBI Lambat, I would like to share with you the quote from Steve Jobs. I am for sure very pretty sure that you know who Steve Jobs is. And let me quote when he said that people with passion can change the world for the better because passion is the great desire to attain a vision or fulfill a mission. It is about wanting something so much that a person would be willing to totally devote oneself to the quest. So whether you will go into entrepreneurial aspect or entrepreneurial or business world or not, what is important are the lessons that you will get out of this. And one of those good qualifications or characteristics that you must imbibe as persons or as students is for you to be reminded to have with you your passion, your dedication, so that you will be able to achieve whatever goals you have ahead of you. Okay, so lastly, I would like to share with you the video. This is a video from the TBI Lambat, the project that Summer State University is also having here. And let us see what are some of the projects or businesses students have in Summer State University. Okay, so I would like to share with you this. Okay, so I would like to ask for your indulgence. I am still gonna send or share with you this video. Ano ba share? Nakikita mo.
Uh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Flora, but there's no sound in the video. Uh, okay. Can you hear me, Mrs. Flora? There is no sound in the video.
Country's socio-economic development. What is TBI? Technology business incubation is one of the strategies identified by Department of Science and Technology to is promoted and supported towards commercialization.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Flora, is the video ended? Okay, Mrs. Flora, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, so yeah, because of technicalities, I suppose the video has no sound yet. So later on, maybe we just can have it. So again, I just would like to share with you that because that is one of the great contributions the Summer State University has for the students and also for the employees of Summer State University. And so that's all for this presentation. I would like also to bring you to the next discussant who will also give you the continuation of the presentation. Damo nga salamat and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Patosa. We will go ahead and take some time for probably your insights or questions. So just a reminder, please be sure to type your insights or probably you have questions into the comment box in your control panel. Do we have some questions? Um, so I guess we have here a question. Excuse me, mom, what do you think will be the best solution for a student who wants to run or start their business but don't have any finances to support? So since it is also impossible for the students to have a loan um, for a bigger amount of money from the bank. So we will have Doc Patosa to answer the query.
Okay, so thank you for that question from Hanef Aznar. So how can a student run a business with no financial support or who could hardly have a financial support? And yeah, um, almost impossible for students. First and foremost, the very reason why the students are given the opportunity to have this is, yeah, to also look into the possibilities, other options. So let me share before I go into the some of the possible answer. No, let me share with you the solution our university is giving for those students who have less opportunity to have um, amount or yeah the amount that they can have for them to have a startup. So as what I have mentioned, we have our TBI Lampat. That is a program approved by the government. That is a Summer State University activity which is funded by external fund. So they also invite students who would like to have the startup. So that is the experience here in Summer State University. So they have different activities and different promotions that are being offered to the students. So with this question on a student who would like to start with a business, generally, I would like also to the point that I would like also to suggest for such a student is to start from the very basic, like he or she can have first the savings, but the one that we can also have. So in that manner, she or he can start with a very small business. May I share with you, my kid, my daughter. after, so this is already a personal sharing. I am also amazed that she already started with an entrepreneurial mind. She started with her passion. She saved, she had savings from her allowance, and then she asked me to buy beads because that's also her passion. She likes to do beads. And then she started from there. She came up with small what's this? Rings, and she came up with a promotion to her classmates. And yeah, it's very good that she was able to come up with that, and she has now started with that. And she has already savings, and she told me that, Mama, I would like to have an offshoot from here if I can buy some more and also sell some more. So that's one thing that I can share, that you can start with your passion, have savings. You may not start very to have a very large um, or very big business at first, because it's good for you to start from the small things first. So begin first with small things. You have to start, of course, with the things that you can do for now. So eventually, if you already have the capacity, and if you are already able to have other agencies who can support you, then much better. So for the starting, or for the startup of those students, you can start, as what I have said, from the very basic and very simple businesses that you can have in mind. Thank you so much.
So I guess the question is already answered. So we proceed to the another question from Miss Gian. Excuse me, ma'am. What do you think the student should do next after they brainstorm their idea and doing SWOT analysis? So their idea can be brought into reality. Should they consult it with the lecturer, or they should make small scale business first and consult about it after some time? Okay, so we request Dr. Patosa to answer the question.
Okay, so thank you also, Gian, for bringing out this question. First is, let me go back to the question. What do you think the students should do after they brainstorm their idea and doing SWOT analysis? How can they bring this out to reality? Or they make small business first and consult about it? Um, First and foremost, one thing is, yeah, it's good that you have to start with the SWOT analysis. You have to identify the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats of your startup. As what I have said a while ago, you have also to consider many things like the market, your capacity as to the financial startup, and also the product that you're gonna have. So the question here is, should they consult it with the lecturer, or they should make small scale business first and consult about it after some time? So I think both ways may do, or both ways can do. So, but it's better also for have a consultation, because our businesses now are very competitive. So for students like you just can, as what I have said, start with very simple ones. I would also suggest that every now and then you can consult an expert on this area on business, so that you will also be guided. And I would like also to emphasize that when you go into business, I have also mentioned a while ago the importance of accepting that there is a risk when you go into this, in whatever thing, especially in business, in whatever activity or other aspect that you have in your lives, risk will always be there. So that is one important thing that you must consider. Okay, so every now I suggest, as what I have said, you just can have every now and then a consultation with experts so that you will also be of great help from them. Thank you.
So I guess there is no questions. It looks like we've covered all, I guess, in the first topic. So, and some of you have given their share by asking questions. So, um, we would like to ask Dr. Patosa if there is anything else you wanted to cover, or probably additional insight, or if there's none, we can proceed to the icebreaker.
Okay, so one last input that I would like to share. So first, again, is when whatever you start, whatever thing that you must decide, you must always have to put in your mind the different aspects, like considering the SWOT. It's good that you've mentioned that you always consider the different aspects when you do things and when you decide on things. And also, what is very relevant is for you to consider many things, like come up with people who can help you and who can also give you advice, because again and again there are many things that will be awaiting for you ahead of you. Okay, what is important is, of course, for you to think of things in step by step process. Do not jump into ahead of the gun. You must start from, you have to have a step at a time, and always consider that when you do things, always put things and have them in your heart, and always consider that there are also other people who can help you. And that's all. Thank you so much.
So I guess we're now ready for the icebreaker. Um, can I now call on Jalo for the icebreaker, please? Can I now call Jalo for the icebreaker?
Okay, can you hear my voice now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so welcome to the ice-breaking session. And now, let me introduce myself. My name is Jalu Wintang Widodo, and you can call me Jalu. And now I will be guiding you in this session to play some games or quiz that can refresh your mind after joining the lecture before, right? So it seems that the lecture before was very interesting and exciting for you, maybe about the entrepreneurship and many more. So here, I'm here to give some quiz. We can play together. We have fun together, and we also try to play some games. So here I have a game. This is called I Said. Yeah. So before we play the game, I will give some instructions and rules for this game. So before we begin our game, so are you ready?
Yes, you're ready.
Okay, good. Great, thank you. And now, before we begin, I will read some rules of the game. First, in this game, please open your camera and unmute yourself. So please guys, from Summer University or from Unesa, please open your camera now. Wow, great. Okay, some of you have opened the camera. All right. In this session, after you open the camera, please unmute your microphone. Because in this game, we would like to, and I would like to ask you to say something or to do some instruction that I will mention later. All right. So the first one, you open the camera and unmute yourself. And then second rules is you can do my instructions. For example, like clap your hands or saying your name and many more. You can do some instructions. If I said blah, 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 blah. For example, I said clap your hands. So you have to clap your hands. For example, I said close your eyes. So you close your eyes. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. So the next rule is if there is an instruction, but there is no words I said, so don't do anything. For example, I say, for example, clap your hands. So don't do anything. Because there is no instruction I said in the firstly. Okay? And in this game, the last participant who survived this game is the winner. So if you cannot follow the instruction or you fail the instruction, you have to quit this game and you cannot continue this game. Yeah. So for whoever who can survive until the end of the game, you can or you will be the winner of this game. So, okay, are you ready, guys? Do you understand the rules now? Okay, great. Now, I will give the warming up first, yeah? Okay. So, I said, hold your hands. Great. Okay, great now. Okay, it's just a warming up. So I think it is clear and you can follow my instruction now. Okay. Because since you are understand about the instructions, so we will start the game now. Yeah. Okay. Close your eyes. Okay. 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 It's safe. Everything is clear. All right. I said, give your thumbs up. Great. Okay. Okay, but unfortunately, there is some of you who don't open the camera yet. So please, for the others, open your camera. Okay? Yeah, great. Thank you. I said, touch your cheeks. Yeah, great. Okay, give applause. And okay, are you ready now? Now, make a love sign. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. What else? Yeah. Mm, touch your shoulders. Nothing. Okay. And I said, please concentrate and be focused. I said, show your teeth. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I can see your teeth, guys. And maybe there is some of you who haven't brushed your teeth. Okay. Okay, great, great. And once more, yeah, once more. I said, say your name.
Annie. Kian. Hasan.
Okay, great. Okay, right. So, do you want more? Do you want more? More? More game? Okay, I will give you more instructions. For example, I said, give a smile. Yeah, okay. But some of you, I see that some of you still wearing a mask. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, great, great smile, guys. Thank you. And raise your hand. Okay, so whoever who's raised your hand, please quit this game now. Okay, everything is understand now. Okay, once more. I say hold your head. Okay, great. It seems that you maybe if you feel dizzy, for example, you can hold your head. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So everyone is understand. And then hold your hair. Sorry, touch your hair. Ah, okay. I found one. I found one participant who touched the hair. Hirman. And who? What? Oh yeah, Rafli. So okay, Hirman and Rafli, sorry. You have to quit the game. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Because there is no I say before the instruction. Yeah. Okay. All right. So for whoever now who survived the game, sorry, I'm lagging. Okay, okay, that's okay. That's okay, Hirman. Uh, and then we will continue the game, to continue the session. I said, shake your head. I said, shake your head. Okay, that's great. Everything is banging right now, yeah? Like listening to rock music, okay? All right. Now, the next instruction. Please be focused and listen and prepare your ears. I said, yeah. I said, touch your ears. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. Great, guys. So that's enough for the game today. And thank you for your enthusiasm. And okay. So after this, we will go to the next session. And for the moderator, are you ready?
Ready. I
Okay,
believe we
great. Thank you, ma'am.
are ready for the second topic, the topic on
Yeah.
statistical quality control, ensuring quality, and entrepreneurship. This will be presented by our very own coordinator of the Bachelor of Science in Statistics. She graduated BSSS and currently pursuing doctorate degree in Cebu City. Please help me welcome Professor Emma Tenidero.
To our Unesa and SSU students, good afternoon. So I will be presenting um, my topic entitled Statistical Quality Control, Ensuring Success in Entrepreneurship. Um, okay, so let me start my presentation with this question. So what do you think is the primary objectives of any businesses? Okay, so a while ago, I've heard that some of you here are already engaged in entrepreneurial activities like managing convenience store. So what do you think, or what are your primary goal of your business? Hmm? Anybody from Unesa and SSU students?
To gain profit, ma'am.
Okay, to make innovation, maintain customer trust, and make profit. What else? Engage customers. Okay, that's right. So primarily, we want to earn money to make or to gain profit out of our business. But how are going um, to gain more profit? So mental in overcoming the failure. How are you going to, or how would be able to gain more profit? Since our primary goal or your goal is to gain profit. Okay, get more money rather than spending. Okay, so basically, we gain more profits because lots of customers patronize our product or services. Okay, so because of the quality of your product or services you offer to them, and because they are actually satisfied. So hence, the bottom line of the primary Okay, so primarily the objectives of our businesses is all about continual improvement in customer satisfaction. In short, you need to continually improve the quality of your product and services that your customer receives so that overall customer satisfaction increases. So usually, customers tend to consistently patronize a certain product or services if they are satisfied with it. So, and if they found out that the quality of the product or services are consistent. Meaning, customer satisfaction depends on the quality of the products or services of any entrepreneurial activity. So in this reason, the concept of statistical quality control is imperative in ensuring success for any entrepreneurial activity or businesses. So talking about these concepts, it has been pioneered by Walter A. Shewhart as he worked as a statistician and engineer at Bell Laboratories in the early part of 20th century. So he was responsible for improving the quality of the manufactured telephones. And it was Edward Deming advocated the implementation of a statistical quality management approach. And with his philosophy behind this approach is to reduce variation, which is fundamental to the principle of continuous improvement and the achievement of consistency, reliability, and uniformity of a certain products or services. SQC, or the Statistical Quality Control, is a system using statistical techniques to control quality by performing inspection, testing, and analysis to conclude whether the product is a stated or designed quality standard. So the basis of the measurement is the performance indicator, either individual, group, or departmental calculated over time. So it may be in hourly, daily, or weekly. And these performance measures are plotted on a chart pattern obtained from plotting these measures are basis of taking appropriate actions so that the process variation is minimized and major problems are prevented in the future. So the common goal of SQC is to reduce variation in a product or service. So as in dart, throwing, and bowling, variation is inherent in a certain product or service. So that is, products or services usually offered to the clients as customer tend to be at least different from one unit of output to the next. So it means that variation exists in all processes. Okay. The point here is that variability can result in poor service and poor product quality. So both of which often decrease customer satisfaction. And we have two random causes of, or we have two causes of variations. These are the random causes of variation and assignable causes of variation. Okay, so when we say random causes of variation, this is also known as the chance variation, which basically uncontrollable due to natural phenomenon like typhoon, heavy rains, or temperatures that may affect the process of your business. While assignable causes of variation, these are variations that are identifiable and can be eliminated. And this usually the focus of the SQC to control this variation. Okay, so to ensure quality or to improve or eliminate these assignable variations, SQC has specific tools to investigate whether the process has changed, either in its mean or in its variation. And it's the statistical process control, which basically the control chart. And this control chart are using the descriptive statistics such as the mean, the standard deviation, and the range. Okay, by the way, before I continue my presentation, I would like to emphasize that my presentation is only limited to the basic concept of statistical concepts of statistical process control due to the time constraint that we have and some technicalities like using the statistical software that supposed to be licensed. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, how anyways, what is important is for you to know the concept of SQC, and you will be able to read or interpret statistical results. Okay, so moving on, as I have said that descriptive statistics is very important in the SPC, in the statistical process control. So in constructing the control charts, so we have the measures of accuracy or the central tendency. So indicating the central position of the data, okay? And we usually use the mean, okay? So, and another one is the measure of precision or spread, which reveals the extent to which numerical data tend to spread about the mean value. And we usually use these two, the range and the standard deviation. Okay, so the range is the simplest possible measure of dispersion, which is usually determined by getting the difference between the largest and the smallest observations in a data set. And the standard deviation is a measured deviation of the values from the mean. The small values of standard deviation signifies that the data are closely clustered around the mean. As you can see here in this figure, that small standard deviation tends to be appear normally, okay, follows a normal distribution, or it means that the data is homogeneous. While for the large values of standard deviation, it signifies that the data are spread out around the mean. Okay, so I'll not be. I'm sure that these two measures of, or these two descriptive statistics, students are very familiar with this because this is the common. These are the common statistical tools used to describe data, numerical data. Okay, so statistical process control, as I have said, that it is actually the control chart, okay, the heart of the statistical process control. So control chart looks like this one, okay? So a graphical display of data over time used to differentiate common cause variation from special cause variation, okay? So from the random variation and the assignable variation. So commonly used is statistical tools for monitoring and improving processes. So the goal of using this chart is to achieve and maintain process stability. Okay. Usually, the control chart has a center line. Usually, the mathematical average. So the center line is the average or the mean of the data set. And we have the upper control limit and the lower control limit. Okay, so look at this figure, the model. We have the upper control limit and the lower control limit. So within the upper control limit and the lower control limit, the dots here is that there is a normal variation due to chance, while points lies above or below the upper control limit and the lower control limit signifies the abnormal variation due to assignable sources. Okay, so for the basic procedure of constructing the control chart, first is you have to choose the appropriate control chart for the data. So we have different types of control charts, but the concept is still the same. Okay, so you have just to choose appropriate control chart because it depends on the data that you have. Okay, then determine the appropriate time period for collecting and plotting the data. So you may use the data in hourly, weekly, or yearly, monthly. Then collect data, construct the chart and analyze the data. Then look for out of control signals on the control chart. Then when one is identified, mark it on the chart and investigate the cause. Okay? Document how you investigated, what you learned, the cause, and how it was corrected. So that's the basic procedure of for constructing the control chart. Okay, so now let's move on to the interpretation of the control chart. Suppose that you have already constructed a control chart. Look at the points in the chart. Okay, so we have if the points between control limits are due to random chance variation. So these points here. Okay, then one or more data points above an upper control limit or below the lower control limit mark statistically significant changes in the process. So it means that the process needs to be investigated. Okay, so how can we see, or how can we see that process is in control or in out of control. Okay, so if no sample points outside limits, most points near process average, then about equal number of points above and below the center line, then points appear randomly distributed. So it means that the process is in control. Okay, so it means that the points has no points lies above and below the limits, and points are near in the center line or clustered around the center line. For the process that is out of control, um, a single point plots outside the control limits. So like this one, so it signifies that the process is out of control. Then if you can see that the data points follows a pattern such as cycles, upward and downward trends. So that means that the process is out of control. Okay, so when we say patterns, it is a non-random identifiable arrangement of plotted points on the chart. So it provides sufficient reasons to look for special causes. Okay, so like this one, this chart signifies that a natural pattern. Okay, so it means that there is no identifiable arrangement of the plotted points exists. Okay, so no point falls outside the control limit and the upper control limit and the lower control limit. And majority of the points are near the center line. Okay, then few points are close to the control limits. So no points that are near the control limits. Okay, so these patterns are indicative of a process that is in control. What about this one? This chart shows trending pattern. So trend represents changes that steadily increases or decreases. So here, this figure shows an increasing trend. Okay, so it shows that this process is out of control. While mixture pattern is indicated when the plotted points tend to fall near or slightly outside the control limits with relatively few points near the center line. So you will notice that the points are all close to the upper control limit, and some of them lies outside the upper control limit, same as in the lower control limit. So this is an example of a mixture pattern, and it signifies that the process is out of control. Another one is the shift in process level. Okay, so these shifts may result from the introduction of new workers, changes in methods, raw materials or machines, a change in the inspection method or standards, or a change in either the skill, attentiveness, or motivation of the operators. Okay, so this chart shows a pattern. So it means that the process is out of control due to this example, that the introduction of new workers, changes in new methods. Okay, so that's end my presentation. I hope that I could be able to impart new knowledge to our dear Unesa and SSU students in terms of ensuring quality to any business or entrepreneurial activities in the future.
Okay, so thank you for Tenedero. We are now going to move on to student activity. Professor Tenedero has prepared charts for you to determine whether the process is within statistical control. To respond, you may type it in the comment section.
Okay, my dear students, you may answer this. Okay, so please examine the given control chart and determine whether the process is within statistical control and describe the pattern.
Okay, so we would like to request the student, the participants, my dear students. So, what is your answer for the first chart being shown to us? So, is it controlled or uncontrolled?
In control or out of control.
So basically, what you're going to type in the comment section is you have to identify whether it is controlled or out of control. So how do you categorize the chart? Anybody? It looks like no one is typing. So okay, so there is one from Summer State University. We have Mary Rose Tejero. So the chart shows that the process is out of control. So is it correct, Professor Tenedero? Is it correct? Yes, of course. So Miss Mary Rose Tejero, you are correct with your answer. So I guess we proceed to the next chart. How about the second chart? Anybody can answer whether it is controlled or out of control. Anybody? We're waiting for your answer. So you may type in the comment section. Looks like the trending pattern, but it's control. Okay, so just to summarize the second chart, so it is the answer is out of control. So according to Professor Tenedero. So we proceed to the next chart. Okay, so we're waiting for your answer. Come on. Anybody from Unesa or probably from Summer State University? We're waiting for your answer. Hello? You just have to identify whether the chart is controlled or out of control. Okay, so somebody answer. It is from Gian from Unesa. Out of control. Is it right, Ma'am Professor Telidero? Controlled. Yes. The answer for the third chart is the process is controlled. Okay, so there are many students have answered it correctly. So from SSU, Abigail, don't, and we have also Mary Rose Tejero, and from UNESA we have Perosa. Did I correctly pronounce your name? Okay, so we have the next chart. Okay, can you guess now? Come on, participants. Okay, so from the comment section, so there are many students who have answered. It is controlled. Is it right, Professor Tenedero? Is the chart considered to be controlled? I'm sorry, my dear participants. The correct answer is out of control. So, but I guess there are some answered it as out of control. So we proceed to the next chart. Okay, so that's it. We are done with the activity. So thank you, Professor Tenedero, for that. So right now we will go ahead and take some time for some insights, or probably you have inquiry or sets of questions that you would like to ask. So you may type in your insights or question probably into the comment box. So I will give you 2 minutes. So it looks like there is no questions or probably insight. So it only means that everything goes well and everything was fully understand. Is it correct, my dear students?
No, I'm sorry. I just
I guess there is somebody.
Yes,
Somebody would like to ask questions. You are now recognized. You can probably type in your question, or you can unmute your microphone if you want. So I guess we covered everything from the topic. So since there is no question, so I guess we are done. And again, thank you everyone. We really appreciate your being here in this webinar. So I guess I will turn the floor to the MC from Unesa. So I guess we are done. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Back to you, to our MC in Unesa.
Oh gitu. Mas. Tapi
Hello, everyone, again. I would like to remind all the participants that still we have an activity tomorrow and until Wednesday, I guess. Until Friday. So you are reminded that there are still topics to be discussed from our from Summer State University side and same time. Okay.
okay, thank you, Ma'am Mary Jess. And well, ladies and gentlemen, time flies so. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, time flies so fast, and I can't believe that we are already at the end of session of this event. Thank you so much for the speakers, officers, and participants that have already attended and actively participated in this event. We hope that we have learned today can be beneficial for us. And don't forget to fill the exit ticket that already sent in the chat box. I think there is exit ticket in the chat box. Okay, and dear participants, be ready for the next event on the 12th of July at 1 p.m. Indonesian time and 2 p.m. in Filipino time. We will learn about information technology in education with Mrs. Erickson Niego and Mrs. Ana Monica Pakulapa, MSIT. And last but not least, I would like to remind all participants to do the assignment to write an essay about what you learn and what you get from today's event. Then you can submit in the submission link that will be given later in the WhatsApp group. Once again, thank you so much for your participation and attendance. Goodbye everyone, kita tayo bukas.